This summer, the host of the Osasu show, Osasu Igbinedion, presents the Osasu Show Symposium, a forum where key stakeholders across the public and private sector discuss issues critical to nation building and development. Theme: the new economy and its impact on the less privileged. Date: Friday, August 25, 2017. Venue: International Conference Center, Central Area, Abuja. Time: 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Confirmed panelists include His Excellency Dr. Kezie Victor Ikpeazu, Executive Governor of Abia State; His Excellency Barrister Nyesom Wike, Executive Governor of Rivers State; His Excellency John Odigo Yegu, Chairman, All Progressives Congress; His Excellency Senator Ahmed Makafi, Chairman, People's Democratic Party; His Excellency Right Honorable Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, Minister of Transportation. For registration, please log on to www.tostvnetwork.com. The Osasu Show Symposium, Bridging the Gap. This summer, the host of the Osasu show, Osasu Igbinedion, presents the Osasu Show Symposium, a forum where key stakeholders across the public and private sector discuss issues critical to nation building and development. Theme: the new economy and its impact on the less privileged. Date: Friday, August 25, 2017. Venue: International Conference Center, Central Area, Abuja. Time: 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Confirmed panelists include His Excellency Dr. Kezie Victor Ikpeazu, Executive Governor of Abia State; His Excellency Barrister Nyesom Wike, Executive Governor of Rivers State; His Excellency John Odigo Yegu, Chairman, All Progressives Congress; His Excellency Senator Ahmed Makafi, Chairman, People's Democratic Party; His Excellency Right Honorable Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, Minister of Transportation. For registration, please log on to www.tostvnetwork.com. The Osasu Show Symposium, Bridging the Gap.
Hello everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Osasu Show. With me right now is the Director of Defense Information, Major General John Eneche. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So, the Chief of Defense Staff recently stated that Boko Haram has been defeated. Given the recent attacks at the University of Maiduguri in about May and June, about 13 innocent lives were taken due to suicide bombing. In July recently, we've had 2 additional attacks. Would you say that Boko Haram has really been defeated?
Yes, Boko Haram has been defeated. But defeat is a process to achieving total peace. Defeat is a package, and it has started. Now, why can we say categorically and confidently that Boko Haram has been defeated? We can say that because before then, you will agree with me that you cannot move around the way people move around in the Northeast now. That is one. 2, the insurgents as it were then and the terrorists, they had total control over some local governments, between 15 to about 20 of the local governments were under their total administration, whereby they were even collecting taxes as government. But now, it is no longer so, after their defeat. Now, let us look at the defeat in this sense. Let me use this illustration. They had an enclave. They had a headquarters in Sambisa Forest. And that headquarters is like an ant hill. And once you bust an ant hill, or a termite hill, the insects will come out. That is what you see now. That is the effect people are seeing and it's appearing as if they have not been defeated.
But if Boko Haram is still taking the lives of innocent Nigerians, can you confidently say, in your position of power, that they've been defeated?
They have been defeated. There is a level of security in Nigeria. Does that mean that there's no armed robbery again? There is armed robbery.
Is that
criminality. Criminality, if you study sociology, criminality, crime, and all these vices are part of human living, part of human existence. There is no total peace anywhere in the world, and it can never exist. When you do go into history and go into creation, it is normal. It's a usual abnormality that comes with human existence.
Well, you wouldn't blame Nigerians that say this is sort of Donald Trump's alternative facts, in the sense that the Chief of Army Staff recently stated that, well, several allegations have been made over time that the leader of Boko Haram has been captured, has been killed, and severally we see him responding to that with videos and audio tapes of him showing that he's alive. Most recently, the report was that he had been ambushed and he was in a critical condition. He released a video, he was completely all right. So wouldn't this be alternative facts coming out of the defense headquarters stating that the leader of Boko Haram has been captured and Boko Haram has been defeated?
I want to say that it's rather unfortunate that people will believe liars and insurgents, criminals, people who don't have the love of this country and the whole world at heart. How true is it that the people you are seeing, the person you are seeing is the leader of the team? Somebody that appears on a video. Who can verify it? Who can authenticate it? Where are the forensic evidences? Where are the forensic proofs? So it could be either way.
So what evidence do you have that Shekau has been defeated, has been eliminated?
Well, it's because the people don't believe the evidence that we have that any Shekau that ever existed has been eliminated is the result of our actions. After action report.
But
what is an after action report?
Okay.
Listen, what is an after action report? When you attack an area and look, there were individuals there from your intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance report, and now you take out that place and there is no more anything alive there, that is an evidence. We have such evidences. Only for you to see somebody appearing on a video that I'm still there, somebody that you don't know where he is. I operated in that area. It's a vast area. And anything can be uploaded. There is no forensic evidence, like I said. When Osama bin Laden was taken out, the body was taken. Yes, I will say that we have not had the opportunity of recovering any enemy body that in those locations where we say that, look, we have attacked and then we have captured, we have eliminated them. That is it until that is done. And of course, let us go into our background. In this country, do we have DNA evidences of our people? No, we don't even have that practice for now. Any Shekau, there may be various Shekaus, which is my strong belief that they are out there. And
so the military is ill-equipped to determine which, the
issue of DNA is not the issue of the military. It's not that we're ill-equipped.
But you're not provided with the right tools for you to
well, if you say that, yes, because it's at the level of our development. It's not only in Nigeria. I don't know whether in any country in Africa, probably South Africa, where they have that, introduced that culture of, taking the record of DNAs of children being born. So that
but would you also attribute incidents like the RAN IDP camp bombing to the lack of growth or,
No. The RAN IDP camp bombing is a different thing altogether. RAN IDP camp was not bombed. It is a place near the camp, 500 meters from the camp. Let us get it right.
But Major General, what I'm trying to put into perspective here is that the military, right, knew beforehand that there was an IDP camp 500 meters away, right? So wasn't there some kind of on-ground communication with the Air Force to say, okay?
No, it was not. Listen.
Okay.
See, the camp itself is at a location. Then where people were amassing, where they saw the movement, 500 meters away.
Away from that, okay.
Now the communication that was on ground, that is the information they have, is about the camp itself.
Okay.
But not the distance 500 meters away from that camp, where there were people were gathered fetching water or doing one thing or the other.
But people who were in the camp during the time of the bombing of that other location that was 500 meters away, were they affected by this bombing?
No, not directly.
No, not at all.
Not
okay, so what sort of compensation has been given to the families of the deceased?
Collateral damage, fog of war, is an unfortunate incident. From the First World War, Second World War, all conflicts, my dear, is an unfortunate thing that happens. And that is why we pray against and work against anything called war or confrontation or conflicts. Even in UN convention, there is no provision for compensation where a soldier dies or where there are casualties on both sides, except maybe there is a world or a global arrangement to handle that. But specifically, there is no arrangement for that, and that is why there will be no compensation.
Have any disciplinary actions been put in place to ensure that an incident like this doesn't occur again?
Yes, a disciplinary action can only be put in place. We have two factors to be established. One we call actus reus. Another one is called mens rea in our military law and practice. Mens rea is when the intention is there to do something that is an offense. And then actus reus is when the action is actually there. And then there are laws, there are offenses in war, offenses in conflict. It is not among the offenses in conflict what happened when there is collateral damage. Collateral damage is not an offense in war. But let me just mention two. When you give information to the enemy to attack your own position, it's an offense in war. When you collaborate with the enemy, it's an offense in war. When you prove to be cowardice, cowardly behavior is an offense in war. But this collateral damage is not an offense in war. So you cannot punish or sanction anybody for it.
So this this unfortunate incident doesn't warrant any disciplinary?
No disciplinary action at all.
So how can it be avoided?
That is, by now, we have told all stakeholders, particularly in this contest, whatever you do, even if it's outside the camp, pass information. If you want to move from point A to B, don't assume. Tell us. Tell the armed forces we are moving from point A to B. And then we provide the necessary, escort, and then we also give information to the Air Force, because the speed of the fighter jets is just close to the speed of wind or whatever. Within few minutes, from where they will scramble the fighter jets, the aircrafts, 5 minutes, they are already at the target. So to avert that is that more collaboration, no assumption, passage of information. However minute you feel it is, just pass the information. Somebody is moving from point A to B. People are going to stay at point B for 5 minutes. Let us know.
Okay. The Army has been going through several de-radicalization programs for ex-Boko Haram convicts, if I'm correct. But the federal government has said time without numbers that they are not granting Boko Haram amnesty. How do you kind of match both actions?
No, it's not a question of matching the action. Amnesty is a big program that should be politically driven. But Operation Safe Corridor is a United Nations UN Convention law of armed convict normality. It's an extant thing. Once somebody surrenders, you treat him as an ex-combatant and give him the treatment of a friendly force. That is what we are doing. So there are two things altogether. It is an international law of armed convict convention and regulation.
So any criminal that comes out to say, okay, I've done this in the past, I want to change, so there's an amnesty granted for that person based on the United Nations standards. Is that what you're saying?
We are not dealing with criminals. We are dealing with enemies now. A criminal is different from an enemy in war classification or conflict classification.
Okay. So what's the difference? Sorry.
The difference now is that we have a group of people who want to carve out a territory from themselves. That is the Boko Haram terrorists. They say Western education is bad. We want you to come under our emirate to begin to behave like this religiously, and they declared it. Now, a criminal, an armed robber, wants to steal money with gun. That's a criminal. So those are two different people. A criminal will not want to say, I want to host it. An armed robber, for instance, or a kidnapper. No.
Yeah, but it
we are not
like
dealing with those ones. Now, these ones have declared war against the state, so they are enemies.
Yeah.
But because the war is not a conventional war, it's an asymmetrical war. And that is why they come under the law of armed conflict. Okay. So that is the difference between these two.
But it
so
seems like
you don't grant amnesty to a criminal. And
okay.
even if it must be done, It is at the political discretion.
Definitely. So
Yes.
it seems like the enemy is giving better conditions or a better feedback than the criminal.
Well, that is the way you see it. But we are concerned with what? Military and then war. And we are bound by the laws of armed conflict, and we must abide by it. So that is why we have Operation Safe Corridor in place to ensure that we do not go against, the law of armed conflict.
But isn't there sort of aren't you scared that these people would go back into society and join their former groups before and perpetrate these crimes that you're trying to fight?
They will be handled as such. If you go back, you'll be handled as such. Measures are in place.
But
you surrender, you are disarmed, you are reintegrated back into the society through training, and you are encouraged. If you decide to go back, you will be treated as such. Because when they go through this reintegration program, retraining, there are various, aspects of training, vocations they'll be given, as artisans. So once you are trained, and of course nobody forced you to come and surrender. It's a voluntary thing. You come with your weapon, you come with your arms and armor and all, and say, look, I have surrendered. I was deceived and all, and blah, blah. Okay, look, this is on the table for you. You are trained, and after the training, you are integrated. What you are saying is a normal thing. That's the truth. We can't run away from it. It's a normal thing. So if you go back into your old ways of life, you will still be handled as such.
And you'll be giving amnesty again.
How? There's no amnesty. What I'm saying is there's no amnesty, because amnesty is like, let me use this maybe forgiveness, and then you go free with whatever you have done. But our own is what? Is ex-combatant. Once you have become an ex-combatant, you'll be given that status. And you are not expected to go back and become a combatant. If you become a combatant again, you'll be handled combatantly. And that is the way it is.
Okay. I want to get your personal opinion on this. The federal government decided to swap 82 Chibok girls for 5 Boko Haram captives. What's your thoughts on that?
I am not aware that they were swapped with Boko Haram captives. But there was a political move that ensured that we got 82 girls back. For the swap, I cannot confirm that.
The Chief of Army Staff was on a program in the United Kingdom where he did recognize that there was a swap that actually happened.
If he did that, I will review that program and then I will respond appropriately.
So in your position right now, you are not aware of any swap?
I cannot tell you that there was a swap.
Okay. We've seen a lot of, I don't want to say resurgence, but we've seen an escalation in the headsman attack. The military, I believe, said it was overwhelmed with the attacks by these headsmen. What exactly has the military put in place to ensure that these attacks are curtailed to a reasonable level?
Well, I'm not aware that the military is saying that they have been overwhelmed by any case of insecurity in the country. But what I can tell you about the issue of herdsmen is that we have always encouraged dialogue between the herdsmen who have been living together with the civilians, with our local populace for years. I can say that there's a bit of surprise, and we are encouraging opinion leaders, local leaders, to get down and dialogue with them and get to the roots of the matter. But that we're overwhelmed, the military has not said that. We're overwhelmed by it.
The military is in, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara, said the military is in 28 out of 36 states of the nation. Obviously the military isn't meant to be performing what we call in-house duties. Isn't that enough reason to be overwhelmed by the burden on them?
That is a normal thing. That is a stage of it. You know, there are lines of defense. There are lines of providing security in the nation. You first and foremost have the police, you have the forest guard, you have several. The military is always at a stage to come in when they hand over the situation to us. And that's what we are doing now.
But you would agree that it is not normal for the military to be operating internally?
No.
Okay.
It is normal. This is the stage for it. When the police comes to this level and the other paramilitary agencies, the military come in. But they are not supposed to be there forever. That is what I will tell you. When the situation is normalized, they now go back to begin to focus more on the territorial integrity, land, maritime, and air.
But if you claim Boko Haram to be defeated, then what else are you trying to normalize?
It's clearance operation. When you talk about defeat, you now break the backbone. Then all the other pieces that are left on the ground, you clear it. So they don't have a stronghold again. They are not formidable again.
So if you had to put a certain time frame to it, when do you think
you don't put a certain time frame to operation in the real sense of it.
Okay.
You only phase it out. The phase we are now is clearance operation. After the clearance, they will now consolidate. After consolidation, we complete. There's no time frame in the real sense of it.
Okay, very lastly, the reason I asked that question because it comes on the back of the rumors of a military coup. The Chief of Army Staff did come out to say that those who were found hobnobbing with politicians would be sanctioned accordingly. Are you scared of any military coup, and do you have any information regarding that?
I'm not scared at all. Military coup will never happen in this country again. Why? Because if you premise it on the background that we are even supporting democracies in other countries, so how come? Morally, it's not possible, it's not justified. And then the current leadership and crop of officers and men that we have now, we are in tune with the best world practices, which is democracy and subordination to civil authorities. That is why it cannot happen. Because by our training, by our teaching in every way, by our psychic now, we are tuned to living democratically, supporting democracy. That is why it will never happen.
But this was what was said in January 15, 1966 and July 28, 1966. A lot of people said it could never happen then.
That is 51 years ago. I was not even born. It will not happen. The development we have now, the knowledge we have now, is not the same thing as it were. It's a different ballgame altogether.
So the Nigerian people should sleep with their 2 eyes closed.
That whatever the situation, there can never be a coup in this country again. No military takeover. It will not happen.
Very, very lastly, I know I said very lastly in the last question.
No problem.
The Chief of Army Staff, General Buratai, also said that in 40 days' time, Shekau should be captured. He told that to...
Should, yes. He should be captured. We are working on it. And that will be with the cooperation of the civilians. When they cooperate with us, they provide further information to what we have.
So that means you do agree that Shekau is still alive because...
Shekau is still alive. Yes.
Okay, because initially you had doubted that.
No. What I'm telling you is that, you see, people keep posing as Shekaus. Who knows the real Shekau? It's only the indigenous and the people that are there. And until we carry the dead, if it's a dead body, a corpse, you carry. And people like wearing big names. That is why we will continue to knock off every Shekau that comes up.
Okay. Any last words for our viewers,
Yes.
Major General?
Yeah, I will seek for and request that we require information in the course of all this process and all this effort. There is no military operation that has ever succeeded with credible and reliable information. And we also ask for information to expose collaborators and sponsors. They are still out there. That is our appeal. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Major General John Eneche. That's it for today's program. To find extended clips from this interview, you can visit our website, www.tostvnetwork.com. Don't forget to follow us on social media at The Osasu Show, at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. For news on sustainable development and current affairs across Africa, you can visit our website, www.tostvnetwork.com. I'll see you same time, not the same place, back in our studios next week. And until then, take very good care of yourself. God bless you.
This summer, the host of the Osasu Show, Osasu Igbenedion, presents the Osasu Show Symposium, a forum where key stakeholders across the public and private sector discuss issues critical to nation building and development. Theme: the new economy and its impact on the less privileged. Date: Friday, August 25, 2017. Venue: International Conference Center, Central Area, Abuja. Time: 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Confirmed panelists include His Excellency Dr. Kezie Victor Ikpeazu, Executive Governor of Abia State; His Excellency Barrister Nyesom Wike, Executive Governor of Rivers State; His Excellency John Odigo Yegu, Chairman, All Progressives Congress; His Excellency Senator Ahmed Makafi, Chairman, People's Democratic Party; His Excellency Right Honorable Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, Minister of Transportation. For registration, please log on to www.tostvnetwork.com. The Osasu Show Symposium, Bridging the Gap.